Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to the Tomica podcast edition, episode number 2. How are all of you doing today as we are reaching, or some of you are actually on the first day of the weekend, Saturday, while some of us, it's Friday right now. And let's go ahead and check out what is coming out for Takara Tomy. They announced their June 2023 releases, and reservations will begin on April 28th. So we see here the number 26 Isuzu Elf sign car. And as I've always said many times before, whenever you see an Isuzu Elf, get it, because it is one of the most highly coveted and most familiar vehicles in Japan. I know many people are into sports cars, but if you are a collector, whenever you see an Elf, you definitely want to get it because they sell out quickly and the prices they skyrocket. So, this one is going to be suggested retail price of 550 yen. And then we got the Toyota Noah, and you will have the option to get it in red and black. And then we have here the Mitsubishi Fuso Super Great Pull trailer, another long edition, and this one looks actually pretty interesting. I do like the color combinations of the blue Fuso. Let's see here, and then you got the Tomica Farm Track set. Well, you get the animals, so that's interesting. And this will be on sale for 2,200 yen. And then you get the Tomica World, Tomica Town Incident Solved DX Police Base. See if that thing comes with any vehicles. I do see some vehicles here. So it comes with 2 policemen, and you get 2 people. They usually call them Pla-Rail kids, but you get a policeman and a villain. And let's see what kind of I see a dump truck right here where the villain can escape on, and you get a police car. This is Tomica Town, so looks like you're getting a lot with your money here. And I see some Rilakuma for Dream Tomica number 155 Rilakuma car, and the Dream Tomica SP Kori Lakuma car. Both are 770 yen. And then, of course, you get more cars. Cars Tomica, C15 Mac, C37 meter, 174 Disney Tomica. It will be the Parade Donald Duck. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. And then you get the 175 Winnie the Pooh. And then for the premium, you get the Toyota MR2 number 40, which will be 935 yen. You could get in red and white. For the unlimited, you get the Fast and the Furious, the Supra, and the Skyline GTR. This is very interesting when you see these releases here, because you compared to how it is to the actual other Skyline GTRs that have been released in the past. I'm already noticing the difference in the rims and also the skull shape. I think it looks like a skull from here on the driver's seat, so that's going to be very interesting. And you get the store original Tomica, the Tomica Shop original Suzuki Solio for 825 yen. And these are the releases that just came out a few days ago. We got the number 46 Ferrari Daytona SP3. I was able to get the red one. I did not. Well, I'm not sure if I got the black one or not. I think I just got the red one. That wasn't too difficult. The black one was, of course, double the price at under 1,000 yen, while the red one was a lot cheaper. Now the number 757 Art Moving Center Truck. As mentioned, when you have an Isuzu Elf, just get it while you can. And this happened with this moving truck. It was sold for under 5,000 yen. Well, under 500 yen on Amazon, and it's just like stuck with that for about a day. And I think once people realized that the new releases were up, immediately they sold out, and now people are selling them for 1,500 per vehicle. So it's one of the things you just as a Tomica collector, if again, a lot of people will go for the sports cars, but for the collectors, those Isuzu Alfs are really desirable. Hardcore collectors want them because it's a familiar vehicle. While everyone knows what a Ferrari Daytona, when it or heard of it or seen it, it's a popular sports car. But in Japan, these Isuzu Alfs are one of the most recognized vehicles on the freeway, on the streets. It's a lot of workers have them, and it's familiar. And of course, not everything in Japan translates well outside of Japan, but for me, as a Tomica collector, I like to collect the Isuzu Alfs, and if I can, every time I see them up, I know right away, time to strike, because it's going to be very hard to get them. We got to spread out and play the cleaning up play park, so this one's going to go about 5280 yen. Looks pretty fun. It looks like you got a good ramp and everything, and of course the Mr. Donut. I guess you could say it's a Tomica Town series that can fold up, and it's very, portable, and easy to clean. So I think parents will like that. Tomica Town tends to be highly desirable, but at the same time, don't worry if it sells out in the beginning. They tend to get more in later. But yeah, Mr. Donut is a very popular place in Japan for donuts, and while you have your gourmet donuts, especially the French bakeries all over Japan, Mr. Donuts is something that's always a welcome sight because of the campaigns, especially during the season. Many different seasonal campaigns that are offered, and it's quite popular, especially in the morning. So now, as for Mr. Donut, like as I mentioned, there's always something seasonal, and here's during the cherry blossom time, they had donuts with like a sakura type of atmosphere with the strawberry custard and something always pink, strawberry or so. The I guess you could say the things you can get, they're not too expensive, but they're about under 150 yen, as you can see here with the prices. But yeah, going back to the Tomica release, that's second Mr. Donut release. The first one was a little. I mean, all the Tomica Town stuff that came out for 7-Eleven and for, was it Sushiro, or I know there's just a few that they released, including Mr. Donut. Part of the difference is that they in a way, I liked how they looked before, and I liked the design and everything, but I think with these 2023 releases, the goal was hearing out, possibly from parents that, they want something that's easily cleanable, and so they made these folding cases to make it a little bit more convenient for parents and children to clean up, and also tracks that you purchase today can actually be on level with the Tomica Town stuff. So I think it's all good. It's all good. But I do have to say, though, that one of the benefits of getting the older ones was that you do get that a better looking building, and which is you do get those plastic glass like looking windows, and then you get a blockhead. So I think that was pretty cool. But this is one thing I was a little surprised, is that at least with the 7-Eleven release and even the Pizza Lab release, you get a vehicle. But for the Sushiro and the Mr. Donut, you don't. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. I think they should have came with something else with it. But regardless, people are still going to buy it no matter what. So we're going to kick off today with some Tomica news. And the latest announcement here is Tomica faithfully reproduces the actual Gifu bus 80th anniversary. And Gifu Bus will start accepting reservations for the original minicar, the Tomica Route Bus, and the Tomica Sightseeing Bus, commemorating the company's 80th anniversary from starting on the 3rd. So it's going to be sold on the online store for Gifu Bus, and the sale is on the 22nd of the month. The model of the route bus is the Mitsubishi Fuso Aerostar, and the model of the sightseeing bus is the Hino Salega. Both are 1,200 yen and faithfully reproduce the actual car. Window sales will start at 7:30 a.m. on the 22nd of the month at the Gifu Bus Terminal in Kandacho, Gifu City. The number of purchases is limited to 2 per person, both at the counter and online sales. Inquiries should be made to the person in charge of advertising sales in the company's sales management department. Got it. Anyway, let's check out a little close-up of this bus here. Can we see it? There we go. Looking at it, looks pretty cool. You gotta love that detail. And the fact it's 1,200, not bad. I say not bad, considering that you get the Tomica, not the Tomica, but the Takara Tomy bus collection, which tend to cost close to almost triple, or even 6 or 7 or 8 times of the price, because they're smaller. They have detail, and the tires reflect what you see on the actual car, but it's plastic, and it's not die-cast metal, and while it's detailed, it just costs so much money. Sure, it's smaller, but this one's actually not bad. 1,200 yen, and it's celebrating the 80th anniversary of the company, and it's definitely going to be a collector's set, because really the only way you're going to get it is if you get it online. Hopefully someone from Gifu will sell it, but you really have to get it at the Gifu bus terminal. So I think that's pretty cool that they're releasing these two. So hopefully some of you are very fortunate to get any of these two. Okay, the next news is rather interesting. Disney and Yofuku no Aoyama and Takara Tomy will be doing a collaboration with a cute tie and Tomica appearance. The original necktie and limited design minicar gift box set is to commemorate Disney's 100th anniversary. It will be on sale on April 4th, 2023 at Yofuku no Aoyama and official online stores nationwide. So you can get the necktie and a limited design minicar gift box set. It'll be on sale. Well, it went on sale earlier in the month at Yofuku no Aoyama. And these are the Disney 100th anniversary ties, a Mickey design necktie commemorating Disney's 100th anniversary. There are 12 types in total, including stripes and checks. The casual Mickey logo, making it easy for business. The lining has original Mickey icon in the suit. Coming in a special box makes it ideal as a gift. And then you got this limited Tomica set. And this is the Tomica original minicar designed exclusively for Yofuku Aoyama. The same blue dot pattern as the lining of the necktie is designed on the roof car of the minicar. And an illustration of Mickey in a suit is drawn on the side. This is a special set that can be obtained on this occasion. And so the ties will Not sure if I see a price here. No, I don't see a price. But let's go ahead and check out the actual images of this right here. We saw that. See if we can get it here. Here we go. The tie right there with making the suit and the matching type of roof and the tie. Okay, so it comes in the box. You got the little Tomica right there. There you go. Oh heck yeah, I would buy this. Collector's edition right there. Especially if the only way to get it is if you get a tie. So that tells me that it's probably going to be a really limited edition. I don't think they're going to make so many of them. I could be wrong, but considering this is tied with the apparel, a tie, I think this will definitely be a sought-out collectible, especially if you love Disney and Tomica. Let's move on to the next news. Okay, something you see in Japan that is pretty trendy is a lot of people, when they have backpacks or bags, they like to attach certain like little minifigures or so. This one is a Tomica version with a chained. I don't like those type of chains, but yeah, it comes with a chain that you could put on your bag or so. Takara Tomy Arts is developing a capsule toy version of the popular finished product minicar Tomica. 4 models that are popular with a wide range of generations have become mascots with ball and chain. You can see it right here. It's about 4.8 to 5.5 centimeters. Attach it to your bag and go out with your car. You got a Nissan GTR blue metallic version. You got the Isuzu Giga dump truck, the Suzuki Jimny, and you got the Nissan NV350 Caravan ambulance. And as mentioned, personally, for me, I like the thicker gauge wire that you can actually connect and then spin the dial so it stays straight. Reason why is I don't know how many of you have had these type of maybe necklaces or whatever and see it how easy it is to snap. For me, I like the durability, especially if you are if you have it in your bag and if you are a traveler, if you have to shove it up there in the luggage area or you know, you're in a crowded bus. You know, it's something you want to make sure it's sturdy and it stays on your bag. So I do like the minifigures. It looks pretty cool. For me, I prefer to see something a little stronger in terms of the band instead of these little metal things here, because I've had these many times in my life and they tend to break off. But yeah, these are going to be on sale late April 2023 and will cost about 300 yen. So which one would you get? So something I've noticed that has been making the rounds is the special magazine collections for Tomica that'll be coming out. And the first issue will be out on May 30th, and they're going to focus on one car model with each issue. The magazine issues tend to go about for 990 yen, and you could see them on Amazon right now. So I'm not exactly sure of how many pages there are, but what we know is that there'll be a total of 60 famous cars that are going to be featured from among more than 1,100 models that have already been released by Takara Tomy, by Tomica. So the cars that were selected were carefully selected, and I'm going to see here if we can get an image. Well, we see them from Amazon right here, but okay, so what we know here is that there's going to be a lineup of number 1 through 20. The first one will be the Fairlady Z 432. Number 2 would be Subaru 360. Issue number 3, the Toyota 2000 GT. Issue 4, the Daihatsu Midget. Number 5, Isuzu Bonnet Bus. Number 6, Mazda Cosmo Sports. Issue 7, Nissan Bluebird SSS Coupe, Triple S Coupe. Number 8, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4. Number 9, Toyota Crown Patrol Car. Issue 10, Toyota MR2. 11, RX-7. Number 12 is Nissan Silvia. Number 13, Toyota Corona Mark II Hardtop. Number 14, Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86. Number 15, Subaru Impreza WRX STI. 16th is Subaru Levorg. 17th, Honda NSX-R. The 18th, Nissan Leaf. The 19th is the Subaru Impreza WRX Type RA STI version 5. And the Lamborghini Contact LP400s number 20. So I think that's pretty cool. Again, for me, I always want to know how many pages they're going to be because, if it's just like 20 or 30 pages, I'm not really into that. I'd like to have a little bit more content for what you're spending, but it doesn't say too much about the page counts, so I really don't know how much it'll cost how much pages it will have. But the fact is that it is one of the cheaper ones, because if you buy a MOOC or a book, you'll be paying close to 4,600. So 990 yen, not too bad. So for this article, this is 3D car race with Tomica designed. Well, this is a new collaboration between Little Planet and Tomica Expo in Osaka. Little play. The digital attraction Tomica Design Racing, a collaboration between the diecast minicar Tomica from Takara Tomy and Little Planet, will be held on April 28th, 2023 to May 7th. So it'll be at the event Tomica Expo in Osaka, held at Osaka Nanko ATC Hall until Sunday. So this one is where you can enjoy a heated car race with a Tomica, based on the popular attraction Oekaki 3D Racing Sketch Racing at Little Planet nationwide. There are 4 types of coloring pages: bus, truck, sports car, and SUV car. If you paint freely and read it with a special scanner, it will instantly transform into a 3D model on the screen. Colorful digital Tomica vehicles such as rotating tires and metallic Tomica wheels, which are full of Tomica characteristics, will challenge up to 12 car races. Interesting. The stage of the race is an original course modeled on the world of Tomica World, where Tomica is active in the first half of the race. Digital Tomica races through the Tomic town area, lined with buildings and shops, and in the adventure area, full of nature in the second half. The speed and performance of the car changes depending on the color applied to the coloring page, so you can enjoy creating your own Tomica and asking yourself, what color should I put to make it run faster? There's a little thing with an asterisk. The race runs automatically. There is no driving operation. Okay. But this is all part of Tomica in Osaka, Tomica Expo. And it will be held from April 20th to May 7th. And for more details, you could visit the official website on the Tomica page, Tomica Expo in Osaka. So, yeah, that is pretty cool. And as we saw a Gifu bus, 2 Gifu buses earlier, that is to commemorate the anniversary of the bus. This one's another commemoration anniversary for the 80th anniversary of the founding of the Nara Kotsu, a route bus subversion minicar. The Nara Kotsu original Tomica has been commercialized. So I think that's really cool. The design of the route bus actually runs mainly in the northern part of the prefecture and is realistically expressed. is a product that many people from children to bus lovers can enjoy. Maeda Maki, Management Strategy Office of Nara Kotsu, says, since this is a bus that runs in Nara on a daily basis, I think this product will appeal to customers who use it for commuting to work or school, as well as customers who like buses. The minicar was released on April 15th at 5 locations in Nara Prefecture, including Nara Linehouse, and it is so popular that it's sold out in 2 days. In the future, it will be sold as a bus and train events in which Nara Kotsu participates. Okay. So the Tomica Premium Unlimited releases of the Kamen Rider, the motorcycle that you see here in the first and second version, they were just released several days ago, and I expected them to sell quickly. A lot of Kamen Rider type of merchandise tend to do so anyway. So I did expect a Tomica release to be sold quickly, and sure enough, it was already, by the time it went live on sale, I was just shocked. It was just like I was able to get both at the rate of 14.99 yen, so it was just about 14.30. So I spent a little bit, about 60 yen, a little over, but it was such a pain in the butt to order. Immediately, resellers were pretty much claiming so many of the sales, wanting 2,000 yen immediately, and it's even till now it's a little bit difficult to find. It's just something that's new, and of course you're going to see people really go out trying to get these Kamen Rider motorcycles. I don't know if it's going to be difficult to find, but I could tell you right now that people who resellers are snatching them up quickly. I think this one and the art center Suzu Elf one, those two are going to be selling quickly of the April releases. I can tell you that much. I think the Ferrari ones will sell too. There's going to be a lot of people interested in both of those, but I do feel that these Kamen Rider releases, despite not being easy, I mean, you really can't tell the difference. I think it's just really subtle color differences between the two, but if you are a collector, you might want to jump on it while you can, while it's still low. But again, when it comes to releases, what may sell out in Japan may not be the case in other Asian countries. I think that's one of the benefits. If you have a maybe Singapore or China or somewhere that sells them, you have a second chance of getting them, because they do release them in the original Japanese packaging, and there's a lot of people who from those countries who sell them for not bad of a price. I know, like with the Initial D stuff, a lot of people missed out on that, and getting those tend to be a little bit difficult because a lot of people sold those immediately, started reselling those quite expensively, and you'll see people doing with this, but I think that you'll see people from other countries try to take it down a little bit lower. So just don't get too, if you missed out on it, don't get too bothered by it. You might find it on eBay or other auction sites, but definitely don't overspend on something that was just released, especially on Amazon. They could get more shipments and stock up real soon. It's just right now that they're sold out, so of course you don't want to wait many months later, but at least just don't worry about not being able to get it these last few days. You should hopefully see it through Amazon and other stores in stock, hopefully within the next week or two. So let's go on to the next. Okay, so for this episode, what is today's topic, or this episode's topic? Well, I wanted to talk about Tomica storage. How do people store their Tomica collection? And you can see a lot of people who live outside of Japan showing you their their storage collections. Some also from Japan. Possibly one of the most well-known collectors of Tomica in the world is the economist Morinaga Takoro, who is the director also of the B Takarakan, which is a bee museum, which contains all his collections, especially his Tomica. So he's been collecting for a very long time, and he has accumulated over 20,000 Tomica. So now that he is older, and a lot of people ask, what are you going to do with your collection? And that's been something that's been on forums that I see debated upon. Some people say that why don't he just sell his cars free of charge? And some people say that he should just get rid of it because he's older. Well, Morinaga is only let's see here, 60. It's probably going about 64 right now. And he also acquires cars from all around the world, Tomica cars as well. And he's unable to maintain the collection because and it's expensive pretty much. And there is a museum that he has that people come to visit to see his awesome collection, but because of the donations he receives, and it's become a tremendous rate, and he's approaching his limit. And with local governments and financial difficulties, and even though a solar power plant was built, the Bee Treasure Museum by Morinaga is pretty much having financial issues. So he started to think about organizing his life. What happens if his physical condition deteriorated and he has no choice, especially if he hopefully not anytime soon, but death. So he is suffering from diabetes that is severe, and the doctor told him that he would have only 1 year to live, and he would be blind within 3 months. And part of that was due to Morinaga's unhealthy habits, because he had an extreme lack of sleep. He was also overeating because of his busy schedule, and since he was a TV personality, he doesn't turn down any work that he's asked to do. And he has increased his work since 2003 as an economist, and he's written many books on economics, macroeconomics, and even Tomica. And economics to survive in the age of 3 million yen annual income, 36 serials in books, newspapers, and magazines. And in 2006, he was also the professor at the Faculty of Economics at Tokyo University. So he had so much work. He'd wake up at 2 a.m. and went to bed at midnight. So as you can see, 2 hours of sleep, which is taking a toll, and which has taken a toll on his body. And from the moment he would wake up, he would eat katsudon and drink a 1.5 liter plastic bottle of Coca-Cola every day. And while he was featured in the Rizap commercials, Rizap is a company, and the commercials often show the before and after of a celebrity, of how they gained a lot of weight and then they lost it and they look super fit. And he lost quite a bit of weight, like 70 kilograms. And he's talked about how the 2011 earthquake changed his life, and his father passed away right after the earthquake, and a lot of work was canceled, and he had a lot of free time, so he did a lot of research. And I guess he just started to feel really really out of it because of the lack of work, because of the earthquake, and it's just things that he had to think about. And as he was in his 50s at the time, he had to reassess his life. And he said it's not uncommon for people to assess their lives and arrange things for their lives, just in case they pass away. But for someone with such a large collection, he does get a lot of advice of what he should do with it. Personally, it's a huge collection that not many people will take on. A lot of kids, especially if you have that much, you could give it to your grandkids or so. But I think if it's something that old and that collectible, what would you do? Can you donate it? What can you do? Personally, I think one thing that with Takara Tomy being such a huge company, it would have been nice if they incorporated a little museum and possibly used Morinaga's collection for for a museum. If they can arrange something like that, if that's something that's interesting, and if it's both parties are interested. But that's something that that came to mind. What would you do if you have such a large collection? Do you sell it right now, and then or do you just keep on going and going and going? When is the stopping point? And a lot of you who are listening to this podcast, possibly a lot of people of you, most of you are young and have many years on you to collect. But for people, once they get in their 50s or 60s or 70s, some people say, what, I'll just keep on going until I die. That's what I love. It's my passion. But then what happens to your huge collection, and how do you want your family to maintain it? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to sell it, put it on an estate sale, which pretty much your collection pretty much goes for nothing? Garage sale? Possibly not. But the thing is that those are things that everyone should consider. But as you can see, his storage for 22,000 Tomica were pretty much utilized at his museum. So that's Morinaga. He's been collecting forever. He's a successful person in his own right for economics and being on television for that. And he has, one could say that he has the money to pretty much, afford to purchase these Tomica. And again, he gets, donations from people, especially for Tomica that were released in other countries, which he has featured in his book. And speaking of his book, there are two collections out. Definitely, when it comes to Tomica, most Tomica books or MOOCs, magazine books, they tend to be focused more for the younger readers. His book is created with the collector in mind, so it's for someone who really is hardcore. Well, actually, kids can enjoy too because there's mostly a lot of pictures. But those who appreciate history of Tomica releases will no doubt enjoy it. But this is something that came up and made me think, what are good ways to store things? And do people want to store it, or do they want to display it? And that's something that I believe that many people tend to reach a certain, path of, well, not more of a path, but more of a, I don't know what you would say, what would you call it, but you reach this part of your life where you're thinking, what do I do? What do I do with this? And, this is a lot. And I thought about it. I thought about it myself. I have a lot of Tomica as well. But the thing is that mine can be put into a bin, and they're small enough. But of course, people say, no, Tomicas, they're meant to be displayed or meant to be played, and I totally understand that. Trust me, I do understand that. But I think that's one of the benefit with Tomica, especially if you have a classic versions and you still have the box and the package. They can definitely be resold. As with trains, if you collect Engage or so, if you have the original boxes or even put them in clear boxes and perfectly maintained it, um, they're they're also big as well. One thing that 2023 has shown people when it comes to toys or hobbies is that the secondary resale market is is exploding. There was a time when a lot of people want to buy new, but you have a lot of people now wanting to buy used, and it's how things are going in Japan right now. Not because that, not just because of the economy and how bad it is. It's just that I think people are becoming more wise of the things that they want and the things they want in their collections, um, rather than just buying the usual monthly releases. So it all depends on you, whatever what kind of collector you are. But just know that yeah, I can understand what Morinaga is uh, is feeling, because a lot of us, will go through a path of, should I do this? Maybe before you get married, and you worry that, oh, my wife will not accept this collection. She'll want me to get rid of it. Or you move into a smaller apartment, and you're like, I don't have the room for this. What can I do? So those are just part of life. Those are things you need to consider. But I will say though, of of the collections that I have for myself, I like the Tomica because they are small. The boxes are small. You can put a lot in a bin if you needed to, for moving purposes, um, opposed to something bigger and bulkier. And I could tell you right now, I have a lot of hobby-based stuff, especially Gunpla. And as you know, for those who have built a Gundam model before, or any model, those boxes tend to be big. So I could say that for collectors, in terms of size and storage, I think the Tomica stuff tends to be a bit um, much easier than compared to other other collections. Um, but yeah, one of the things that made me think is, how do people deal with their collection, and how do they store things? And I know there are people in America who have built their own DIY shelves, but in Japan, most people don't live in houses. They live in either apartment complexes or what they call condominiums, which is pretty much almost like an apartment complex, or actually, I'm sorry, not condominiums, but mansion, which is like a condominium. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a few. Let's bring in a few videos here, and let's see how people store their Tomica. Okay, so for the first video, we're going to see how she stores her Tomica. This is an older video, but she's probably one of the more well-known YouTubers in Japan when it comes to trains and Tomica, in terms of model collecting, toy collecting, and that is Suzukawa Ayako. She has two YouTube channels. The first one pretty much focused on the toy reviews. She has since focused it more on the visiting trains around the country for Japan, and the second channel tends to focus more on the hobbyist type of stuff, the toys. So she still continues to do that. She sounds like a child, but she's actually she's actually a mom of two, and her husband have been running this successful YouTube channel for years. So she has her videos get a lot of, like, millions of views, and this one right here almost has 7 million views. So that goes to tell you, the popularity of her videos and so forth. So let's go ahead and start, and let's check out her collection.
完成。私の
You gotta like that. You got the box and the collection. I mean, and the cards in the front. Let me move this up a little bit here. Here we go.
届いたので、ガラス瓶セトモノって書いてありますが、ちょっとね、開けてみたいと思います。これはなんじゃででーん。はい。大阪にあるオリジナルハウス。
Yes, this is called original house cases. Quite popular.
コレクションボックスを購入しました。このね、仕切りの大きさ感から見ても分かる方もね、いるかもしれませんが。
I wish we had something like that in the U.S. I was looking to import this, and it was just, while it was inexpensive in Japan, about 70,000 to 90, not 70,000, about 7,000 to 9,000 yen. So about 50 bucks to 75 USD in today's currency.
手前にそのトミカをね、中身を出して飾れるっていうちょうどいいサイズでございます。しかもこれ中ね、全部仕切りが透明のアクリル板ということなので、このね、下からもね、ちゃんと車体が見れちゃったりするっていう 8×1,2,3,4,5,6,8,6,48 個入ります。じゃあ早速ね、トミカをしまっていきたいんですが、ちょっとね、よいしょ。私もね、この箱の中、箱じゃない、袋の中でもう溢れるぐらいのトミカを48個激戦して入れてみたいと思います。完全にこれ私のセレクトですね、何を入れるかっていうのは。どうしようかな。
How do you guys like to organize it? For me, I go things by going. I have mine arranged by numeric.
いくらね、アクリルとはいえね、割れるときは割れますから気をつけましょう。
Yeah, it is acrylic.
本当にぴったり。本当にぴったりサイズ。もうね、その向きのまんま入れないとね、ちょっと斜めにしたら入らないですね。よいしょ。ちょっとね、手前気味に。
And she put her image there.
すごいな、下からも見える。今ね、他が入ってないので。いいね。これ今ね、奥に箱入れてますけど、このトミカだけを入れるんならね、さらに奥にもう1台ね、同じぐらいの厚みの車両なら入れられるので、倍ね、入れられることになりますが、でも結構皆さんね、コレクションされる方は箱のままね、取っとかれる方、よいしょ、多いので、いいですね。エネオスかな。アルソクもいいんだけど、エネオスにしましょう。1段目完成。トラック系ですね。
So it's pretty good length.
左上はね、
or width.
なんといっても私のオリジナルトミカでございます。トミカショップの空町店限定でね、作れる。これかトミカ工房ですか
？But for the most part, I think you get the idea of what she has here. It's a pretty good case. But yeah, this is a good video that shows exactly how she has been storing her Tomica. So I'm sure she has more than 48, so she'll probably need 3 or 4 of these. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and check out another video here. Or actually, wait. Let's look at this house cabinet, original house. So let's look at it. So looking up the Tomica, the original house case. Here it is, right here. You can take a look at it. Really nice looking. 48 Tomica vehicles can fit in the case. Acrylic cover. Like that. Well, why I like that, especially in Japan, is that if you have a earthquake, your vehicles will not fall over and break or get damaged. That's one thing that you notice with a lot of figurine collectors, especially with Gunpla or other anime type of figurine collectors. They it's a heartbreak when they have an earthquake or something just falls over, or especially if kids get into them. Especially I've read about the horror stories and seen videos of the horror stories of kids getting into a room and then getting into a case and seeing their hobbies, their models broken and damaged. But usually you see a lot of that from the earthquakes, and it's heartbreaking. But at least with the Tomica stuff, especially with cases like this, they're far in, as you can see right here, in terms of space, and you get that acrylic case, which does help, and nothing should fall out. And 97.20 yen. My gosh, that is a great price. But of course, this is for Japan only. That's about $72.45. But my goodness, this is such a beautiful case. Again, I wish there's something like this in Japan, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who can do DIY, do it yourself type of casing. People who have the skills, the mad skills for that, which I don't. But yeah, this is very interesting. And you get 10% off right now as well. So that's if you live in Japan. Okay, moving on. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out another case. This one is a Tomica case, so let's check it out.
はい、青春秘密基地アーバです。今回紹介するのはトミカのコレクションケースの方を紹介していきたいと思います。
I like the Tomica sign logo on top.
収納することができるんですけれども、なぜね、
Not
こちら
sure
の
if it's
トミカのショ
wood.
ーケース買ったかというと、まあ自分もね、トミカね、そんなたくさんではないんですが、所有しているということと、
But let's take a
ず
look.
っとね、欲しかったんですよ。
I wonder if this is the kind that could fit the boxes in there or just a vehicle. So we'll find
こち
out.
らにね、プリントされていて、こちらの柄がなんともね、昭和レトロな感じがして、VRDZ の方がね、こうプリントされているものが欲しいなと。またこちらもね、80代とか120代とか様々ね、こう台数のね、違いが出てくるんですけれども、自分はね、80代のタイプ
Okay,
にし
I
まし
think the
た。
plastic's
そうす
still
ると
on
上の
there.
ね、この看板のような部分が結構ね、バランスよく配置されていて、120代になるとね、もうちょっと距離が伸びてしまうので、ちょっとね、間延びした感じが出てしまうのと、自分もまだまだね、
By the way, the video is courtesy of Youth Secret
この
Base.
ね、80代でもかなりね、感覚がね、空いてしまうというかね、
Well, the
コマ
English
の方が埋ま
translation
らない
for
状
it.
態になってくるかと思うんですけれども、ちょっとね、今回ね、こちらのね、陳列していきたいと思います。現在はこんな感じで、ロッテのね、ガムのケースの方にこういった感じで収納しているんですけれども、まあざっと見てもらってもね、この程度しか
Got some
持っていないの
classics,
で、
quite a bit of
まだまだ
classics in
ね
there.
こう感覚としてはね、全然足りないんですけれども、今後
That
また
is
ね、こうやって
collector.
コレクションケースを買うことによって、こちらのね、ケースをね、目いっぱい埋めたいなというような願望が出てきて、またね、コレクション欲の方も増してくるのかなと思います。で、こちらの方でヤフオクの方で27,000円ほどで購入したんですけれども、まあ、
Looking at the surroundings of his room, in a way it looks like he owns a toy shop, but
綺麗というわけでもないですし、一部ね、ひびというかね、そういったものも入っているので、そういったことを
either he's a hardcore collector or he owns a shop.
高めかなといった感じなんじゃないかなと思います。ただね、こちらなかなかね、こう出てくることもね、少なくなってきましたし、もう自分もね、10年ぐらいね、探しててね、こう欲しいなと思っていたんですけれども、なんだかんだね、まあまだいいやといった感じで結構購入を先延ばしにしていて、昔ね、マンダラケさんでやはり、ね、見かけたことがあって、その時にもね、2万円ぐらいだったんですけれども、ちょっとね、さすがにこれ大きいんですよね、かなりね。なんでちょっとね、フラットね、立ち寄ったマンダラケさんで購入しようと思ったんですが、持って帰ることも結構大変なので、ちょっとその時も断念したんですけれども、今回はね、
Trying to see that little thing going through the like diagonal from the upper left down. Not sure if that was a crack or what, but
トミカに関してはね、自分は基本的には黒箱がね、中心として集めていて、特にね、2000GT ですね。これトヨタの 2000GT が好きで、そちらのね、バリエーションを様
I
々
want to pause and look at those boxes even more, but we'll stay on topic, let it go. Gosh, look at those Gundams right there, and even got some of those Shogun Warriors, old school 78s. Okay. carefully pulling that out.
ケースの開け方なんですけれども、こちらの方がね、ちょっと引っ掛けてね、開けられているだけなので、こういった感じで表面
Okay, so it is a crack in the
裏側の方が
glass.
そっくり外れます。そしてね、中の方にトミカの方を入れてくれておいてください。で、はい、それじゃあね、まずこんな感じで箱の方も収納できるので、箱の方をね、奥の方に入れて、
Okay, the box does fit.
車の方を
Does the car fit in front of it? Let's see.
結構ね、箱を乗せてその手前にね、車が置けるということで、かなりね、
Yep,
見栄えを
it
する
fits.
ようにね、配置になるのも、やはりこのトミカ専用ケースのね、いいところなんじゃないかなと思います。
So that's pretty cool.
やはりね、2000GT
Again, I like cases that allow for the box to be put in the back and then the car in the front. So
2000GT も全ての
definitely,
箱が持ってい
definitely
るという
worth
わけ
it.
ではなかった気がするので、
Well, if it's still sold.
それでいくとね、やはりね、箱の
I don't think I've seen any other YouTuber show this type of case before.
それでもね、やっぱ黒箱かっこいいですよね、昔の箱は。で、一番気に入ってるのはこのグリーンメタリックのね、この 2000GT。
One thing I hope if he shows the rear, because I'm kind of wondering if this display case can be hung on a wall. Otherwise, one may need to make some modifications to it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was like, what is he doing? Oh, some he has boxes and some for those he doesn't. I see. Wow, just for that one car, it looks like he has several versions of it. Can't see it clearly, but and there you go. Oh, come on, Western Aloha. Which is a good company, by the way, for those of you looking for Hawaiian shirts. Okay. There we go. Let's put a pause to this right here. So we got 3, 6, 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10. So you could get 80 cars in there. Not bad. If anything that would irk me is, of course, a little crack on the side there. But if you could get something that cheap, you go with it. Then I'm not sure if it's glass or like some type of vinyl, but still, I like cases that do allow for the box to be fit in there. Gosh, look at that. Some of those classics. That's just wonderful. You gotta love that. But overall, yeah, this is a pretty cool case. Let's see if he shows the rear. Let me forward. Now, it doesn't look like he shows the rear, but oh, okay. But he does show that he has a lot of Toyota 2000 GTs. He even has that Pepsi one too. Got a King Kong. King Kong Gojira. So King Kong versus Godzilla. Okay. So yeah. Gosh, look at that collection. This is so cool. あとこっちは 2000GT さまざまね、トミカのね、アピタとかとコラボしたものとか、一国版のね、トミカの方も何台かあります。So some of these, I wonder if these are just like alternates because this was a blue and white or a variation, and he got a blue and yellow. I'm not too well versed on the 70s. Look at this one right here. Let's see if we can get a clearer one. That is a cool one right there. Is it up here? Yeah. Wow, that is so cool. And he got some of the chrome plated and silver plated. That's really cool. Okay. Now, something that you'll see a lot on YouTube are Daiso and Seria cases. For those of you who are not familiar with Daiso or Seria, they're like dollar stores, but because they're mostly Japanese, they're Japanese items, many people look at it as very cool and way better than the normal dollar store, I guess you could say. But the thing is that these are cheap. Some people get them for 100 yen or 200 yen. They're just regular clear cases, and people just stack them up and fit as many cars into them. That is an example right there of what one can do. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. So this person got a 3-door case for 200 yen from Daiso, which is very cheap. And you can see right there. So 200 yen is about $1.49 in US dollars. So it's more like a cabinet-based ones. There are different ones out there, ones that are more for the smaller cars. But you can find many of these in Daiso and other cheaper outlets or stores. But these are just examples right here. Let me move over. That's okay. That's one similar to what you see. So with this one is the one that is similar to what you'll see with the other people showcasing on their YouTube channel, and this is all good. I mean, you could put whatever you want to underneath the cars, and then you could just stack them up. But they do come with a cover, of course. But when you come to stocking, and I saw some people one guy who bought like 500 of them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and he stacked so many on top, and I said to myself, what if you need to get something in the bottom? Oh, what a pain in the butt that would be, especially if you have 500 and you have like 25 or 35 things stacked on top of it, and you need to get it out. And how would you know which one, which car is in which case? You really have to keep good records and say, okay, this is aisle 5 of 20, and my car is on the 4th row. I suppose you're going to have to keep a lot of good records on that. So, but that's what I notice. And then the other ones, of course, are the file drawers. That many hobbyists, and it's no different from Japan and the US, are getting those clear drawers. I think if anything though, one major difference is that when you go to let's say in the US, when you go to a department store, you can find a lot of these drawer based bin storages that are usually bigger in size, and then they'll probably give you like 2 thin ones. Well, there are people who like the all thin, and I think one of the most popular of that, let me bring it up real quick. So one of the most popular brands for home-based stuff is Aris Oyama, and you'll notice a lot of collectors on YouTube, they push this Aris Oyama SCE-S1000 Super Clear Chest. Comes in blue and brown, I believe, clear drawers. And yeah, you could fit a lot of Tomica in there. It's really nice because I see a lot of people online, they stack up like 2 of these. I mean, one of them, they get 2 of them, and one's on top of the other, and then they order more as they go on. But yeah, I think this is a really good idea to keep, for storage purposes. But no matter what, I mean, you could go to your local, if you're in the United States, you could go to your local Walmart or Target and get one of these. It may not be as thin as the Aris Oyama ones, but the thing is that a big storage unit. You can stack one on top of the other if needed. This one's great because I mean it's just you just lay them flat, and just you could label the front of the drawer easy. And I mean that's what I do for my collections of toys, not my Tomica stuff, but other things. And I mean it is what it is. I mean this is really, it's really cool. If you're in Japan, it's not too expensive. Although if you do want to order this in the US, the shipping is insane. It's like 37,296 yen. So yeah, right. Who's gonna spend like almost $350 for shipping of this? You gotta be really crazy or rich. So but yeah, the Iris Oyama is another popular one. But again, you can find alternative versions in your country. Possibly from your department store. A lot of places have these clear chests in a variety of sizes of drawers. So if you do run across one like this with a lot of mini drawers, then all power to you. That's wonderful. But this one sold for $47.90 in Japan, so that's about close to $40 or so. So yeah. Okay, so now we talked about. We began with talking about Morinaga Takoro and his collection of more than 20,000 Tomica, and then about him contemplating what will he do with his collection, because now he's getting older. And of course, when you get older, you start thinking about the people around you who start passing away, and then you start thinking about yourself, of what you need to do with your collection. And he owns this museum, and where people can visit and check out his collection of toys, cans, because of course he loves Coca-Cola, and bottles, and many other things that he's collected over the years. But the thing is that his Tomica collection is part of what people want, travel so far to see, because he has possibly the largest collection in the world. So again, he's a celebrity in his own right, major popular television economist. So let's go ahead and before we end this episode, we're going to check out his collection. This is courtesy of Youth Secret Base. And yeah, let's hit play. We're not going to watch the whole video, but only the Tomica portion.
稲賀拓郎さんというと、どうしてもねミニカーコレクターといったような自分もね印象があったんですけれども、当然ねミニカーなんかもものすごい数ね展示されていたんですけれども、驚いたのはミニカー以外のものもねかなりたくさんのものをコレクションされていて、本当にね先ほどあったような空き缶や変わったジャンルのものも当然あったんですけれども、王道的なキャラクターもののガンダムやウルトラマン、またね仮面ライダーなど、そういったねキャラクターグッズの商品なんかもたくさん展示されていたのは意外でした。でこちらの B 宝館なんですけれども、埼玉県にあるんですけれども、まだまだね認知されていないのかなといったような印象で、自分も埼玉にはねかなりの頻度で来てはいたんですけれども、動画でお世話になってコレクターさんの方から紹介をされて、ぜひね取材の方に行ってみたら面白い動画が撮れるんじゃないかなといったようなアドバイスもいただいて、早速ね動画の方を撮影にお邪魔の方をしたといったような感じになります。でショーケース自体もかなりねしっかりとした統一されたねショーケースの方が何台もね何十台も入っているんですけれども、そういった維持管理というものも非常にねご苦労されているんじゃないかなと感じました。空調自体も温度はねかなり低めの設定になっているので、ちょっとね1枚羽織るものなんかを持っていった方がゆっくりとね見学できるんじゃないかなと思います。そういったことの全てはやはり、ね、展示物をなるべくね傷めないためにも空調なんかにもかなりね配慮されているかと思いますし、そういった商品を保存するということに関しても徹底されているので、どこがねおもちゃたちも喜んでいるように感じました。また今回ね1階2階の方を撮影させてもらったんですけれども、まだまだね本当にね映しきれていないエリアなんかもたくさんあるので、どちらかというと自分が気になるエリアや好きなものを全般的に撮影の方をしてきているので、 B 宝館の雰囲気だけでも伝わればと思います。なのでぜひね興味がある方は実際に足を運ばれてみたらいいんじゃないかなと思います。ただこの日もたくさんのお客さんやコレクターさんなんかが訪れていて、かなり賑わっていました。またね本当にコレクターさんなんかが手放すような商品なんかもこの日もね たくさん段ボールで引き取っていましたし、またそういったものをね展示するスペース自体がもうね1階2階ではねマックス状態と言ってもいいほどのショーケースの量にぎっしり詰まった商品量といった感じになっているので、本当にそういった面ではもう見切れないほどの商品量になっているので、さすが博物館というだけのことはあって圧倒的な物量に正直衝撃を受けましたし、自分もいつかね昭和レトロ玩具のおもちゃにね囲まれながら生活がしたいなと思いながらも、こういった圧倒的な展示物を見てしまうと改めていつになったらねそんな博物館なんかが開けるのかな、いや開けるのかなというよりも今からねやはりねこれだけの商品量をかき集めるということはもう不可能に近いかと思うので、それだけね貴重なお宝やコレクションをね一堂に会して見ることができる森永拓郎さんの B 宝館、ぜひね足を運んでみてはいかがでしょうか。
Okay, so that was very interesting because it gives us good insight for those who never been to the museum before. I've not been to that museum before, but I'm definitely interested in Morinaga Takuro's collection. I think if anything, he's been collecting miniature cars for over close to 40 years now, and with over 20,000 vehicles, you can't help but be impressed. But that's the love people have for Tomica, cars in general. I think it's if you have the space and the ability to display them like he has, I think it makes it worthwhile. But for those of you who are lacking the space, I know you can only display maybe 2 or 3 on top of your desk or somewhere on the shelf, the bookshelf, but for the most part, yeah, I can understand why people tend to wonder that with having such a large collection, is it worth it, or should I just get what I want? And limited. There's just so many variables that comes to collecting, and depending what kind of collector you are. For me, I'm one of the dangerous type of collectors, and when I see dangerous to the wallet. And what I mean by that is that I am a collector that tends to go nuts. I guess they call it completionist collecting, where you have to have every version. Not for me, it's not more of, oh yes, I need to have every Transformer vehicle ever made. But if, let's say that a series is released for that year, I want that whole series. I want to collect that whole series. And it's the same thing with Tomica, with 2023. I want to get as many of all the 2023 Tomica releases as possible. It's a not a good mindset. So I do not recommend anyone being completionist. It's just the thing is that that's with me. Little OCD when it comes to missing numbers, and also when your closet has clothes that are I need to color coordinate mine. So yeah, it's a bit of way over OCD there, but it's the same thing with Tomica. I don't mind so much for the Tomica Premium, and I don't mind so much about blister or box, although my preference is box if possible. But when it comes to collecting and displaying, it's something that I've battled with, because I am a collector and I have so many things, especially in this office right here. I have my diorama collection, my train collection, and it's something I don't, that's the primary for me, is the train stuff. But then the Tomica stuff, I don't have any display for it. In fact, they're all packed away. So I do have a different perspective on that, especially when it comes to the Japanese mentality of living in short spaces, and it's just I appreciate for those who can just keep it to a limited limit on their for their collections. But for me, I'm just like, oh, I started already. Might as well finish it off to the end. I just need 3 or 4 in this collection, and so forth. I don't know. It depends on what kind of Tomica collector you are or not. And it's one of the positives and negatives of being a collector is self-will, self-control. And hopefully none of you have the completionist behavior that I tend to exhibit when it comes to collecting things. So, yeah, fortunately, it's bad for the wallet, dangerous for the wallet. So, if anything, just be careful if you're a collector and spend within your means. And if you are younger and you are listening to this podcast, talk to mom and dad if you want something, but don't go too crazy. Okay, you don't need them all. But I should take my own advice there, possibly. Anyway, everyone, you have a good weekend, and yeah, I think I will be doing these podcasts. I know the Tetsudo Moke podcast. I tend to do that a lot more, but because the Tomica news, there's not like a ton of them. You kind of have to wait a while, and usually within a week you tend to see more news about it. But yeah, I think I will start doing reviews and so forth. I'm not sure if I'm going to do those reviews as part of the podcast or keep those separate. I'm not sure yet. I know that a lot of people like my my Welcome to Yamanote train videos when I do introduce the things I get, but for Tomica, not sure exactly, because it's one thing when you have a train set and everything's 1/150, but when you tend to start collecting these mini cars, they're all different scales and so forth. So it doesn't all look right on a 1/150 diorama setup. You kind of need something a little bit bigger, so, and a little smaller than the plow rail stuff. So anyway, this is the Tomica Podcast Edition, Episode 2, where we cover Japanese mini cars, specifically Tomica. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.